Steve, can we please have a one-word prompt?
Can I use an old one?
Sure. Well,
yeah, why not?
Yeah, this
one time.
Okay, just this one time?
Yeah.
I'll do cars then.
Oh, okay.
I feel like we haven't done that one in a bit.
Yeah. I'm not sure we've ever done that one.
Yeah,
anyway, let's see. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
It's summertime. Time for the top down. Got to take off the doors. Taking the top off.
Remove the snow chains.
I'm talking about my shirt as well. Sun's out, guys. Tops are coming off.
Jesus Christ. Hey, that went nowhere. This is the Overtalking Podcast with your hosts, Ken and CJ. Say hi, CJ.
Currently shirtless.
It's true. This is a show where we talk over TV shows and movies as chosen by our guests, but this week we didn't really have our guests choose this. We kind of dictated because we knew our guest had already seen it, of course. Because returning this week, we have returning guest Steve, and we're talking about Vice's Icons Unearthed, the Fast and Furious story, or I don't know what the actual title is, but it's the Fast and Furious season of Icons Unearthed on Vice. Welcome back, Steve.
Hey, good to be back. Thanks for having me. So canonically, I have seen this before. Just want to get that.
Okay. Thank you.
I don't know if I've ever watched
the canon.
I don't know if I've ever watched any TV shows. That's what I was wondering.
Well, like maybe watched as a stretch. You were one of the talking heads they interview, so that's kind of what we're saying. Is of course,
and we'll get into that. But I was very familiar with. It was almost like a documentary of my life.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah.
Why didn't you narrate this?
They asked, and I just had too many things going on at that time, and I just wanted to. I don't know. I feel like I'm just becoming too much of a celebrity in the racing world, and I just wanted to get back to my roots with the cars.
Too busy at the shop. Know how that goes.
Yeah, with my cast of cohorts at the shop, and you remember their names, so I'm not gonna get into it.
Yep.
You don't need to. Yeah.
We've got Guy. We've got others.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, those are their names.
That's what their names are. Mm-hmm. Canonically.
Everyone's doing well. Thanks for asking.
Oh, great.
Good.
Yep.
Glad to hear it. Sorry I haven't been around in a while. I know.
Yeah, no, it's okay. But those snow tires got to come off soon.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I probably should have taken them off by now. Yeah, it seems like maybe left them on a little too long.
I don't think you've come in since then.
So, Steve, what's the underlight neon color of the season?
I mean, it really just depends. I'm doing all of those like awareness months kind of situations. Okay. So like breast cancer awareness and like mental health awareness.
Nice.
So right now we got like a blue situation going on. And also it's got like a little bit of that springtime.
Yeah.
And we got a little discount going on right now. If you do get the same colors that I'm doing, if you get the Toolman special, I'll knock it down 42.0%. And
that's a lot.
That's significant.
Yeah, I was just trying to get a good round number that also reflected something about me. So,
and your colors are?
It's a steal. Oh, my colors right now are like it's the same as my Zoom background, a little bit of blue and greenish. It's like
the
what do you call
Borealis?
It? Oreo bor or something?
Oreo, double stuffed Oreo. That's
okay, yeah. I only know cars. Don't ask me about weather phenomena.
Or Oreos, apparently.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like we need to dive into this because this is a pretty one-note situation we've gotten into with the Fast and Furious franchise and Steve. So I think let's not even break. Let's just dive right in. Steve, we're going to put 30 seconds on the clock for someone who's never heard or seen the documentary series Icons Unearthed for the Fast and Furious franchise.
Which
I don't understand how this is going to work.
Yeah.
But
if I were a betting man, this would be every single person listening to this has not heard or seen this. All right, ready, go.
Wait, you're saying that most people haven't seen this?
I think so.
Okay. Is the clock going right now?
Yeah, it's going.
Okay, so which one should I talk about? The first one or all of them?
You can talk about all of them. Dealer's choice.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So there's 6 episodes.
Correct.
And this is basically a story about the Fast and Furious movies and the making of. And there's an annoying guy who narrates it, and I know everything that happened in it because I know cars.
What?
I mean, what more is there to say?
That's about it.
Yeah, I think you summed it up. It's a behind the scenes look at the making of the Fast and Furious franchise, and that's about it.
And I'm so glad we're talking about the narrator, because this is one of my biggest gripes. we have to discuss this. So the narrator of this documentary series is one of the stars of Fast and Furious, Chad Lindbergh.
Stars.
Yeah, star is a really aggressive word there, because I forgot he existed. I'll be honest. Actually,
Stars.
wait, no, I didn't.
CJ, remind everyone who that is in the Fast and Furious franchise.
He's the skinny white guy who also wears a tank top. That should really distinct him between the other people.
Okay, yes.
Who dies? Spoilers.
In the very
first one. So they chose the guy who dies in the first movie of a 10-movie series to narrate the show about the series.
And you got to wonder, how many people did they ask? How far down the list was he?
It's hard to tell because they had so many of the stars actually as the talking heads in this series.
Yeah, at least
they had
one.
He's one, and the other is Tyrese, and that's it.
I was referring to Tyrese as the one. I still don't consider it. I don't even know what this guy's name is. I forgot after you just said it. But he's Jesse.
Yeah.
And he gets shot.
Chad Lindbergh.
Chad Lindbergh.
No offense to Chad. I think you're a fantastic actor. You were great in the first movie. I don't think voiceover work is really your forte. And I'm so sorry. I know you're listening. I think you were trying maybe a little too hard to be dramatic, and it didn't work for me personally.
And I want to come out and say this too. Does Chad even know cars?
Who's to say?
Do we think he does at all? I don't.
I mean, did you catch
not.
up with him on the filming set
on
for
the
this?
set?
I only talked to him when I was on the set of the first one back when that filmed in 2000. Right. Yeah. Right. So and when the director Rob whatever Cohen came up to me, and he was just like, "I think I'm going to kill this guy off," and I was like, "All right, this guy's not worth my time going forward. I don't need to talk to him anymore." So that's where we ended up. But yeah, I mean, when they wanted me to talk about this franchise and me to be the narrator, and then they went to obviously Vin next, but they went all the way down the list.
Vin, such Chad, a great voice acting resume. Yeah. He's got Groot.
He holds the Marvel Cinematic Universe together with his collection of 3 to 6 words.
That's right.
What I was thinking while watching this, Steve, I know they asked you, but really, I was thinking to myself, they should have asked Ken.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ken's the one who's got a great voice.
Look, I don't have the car know-how, but I can read a script.
Yeah.
I can read.
And that's something where I could write the script for you. I have the car know-how. You got the voice for the voiceover game.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Actually, yeah.
I wanted to even prove this out. So this documentary series is full of very cheesy lines where, again, I'm so sorry, Chad, you're just trying too hard when you're delivering them. You're really trying to give yourself a deeper voice that you don't really have to add to the drama. So actually, I wrote down one of these lines, and Ken, I'm going to send it to you, and I want you to do a read of it if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Because I think they missed opportunity here. Ken would nail this.
All right, and I'm doing my normal narration voice. Is this correct?
As if you're in the documentary series, your best, the suspense is building. It's towards the end of the series. And go.
With so many problems, the franchise's check engine light was going into overtime.
I mean, come on.
Come on.
That's already so much better.
Pay the man.
I mean, the line is great, too.
Yeah.
You think, is Chad writing these lines? Who's writing these lines?
I think whoever's writing the rock lines is probably writing this dialogue as well.
Those feel very similar.
Yeah.
Daddy's got to go to work. Right?
See?
Yeah.
Come on.
There you go.
Nailed it. One take.
That should have been part of the trailer for Furious 7.
Gosh.
So there were a lot of cheesy lines in this one. I actually wrote down one as well. They're referring to we've covered the franchise on this show, so there cannot be spoilers at this point. Several people die and come back to life throughout the series because they're not actually dead. I don't know. It's stupid. But one of the I mean, it's brilliant.
Did you mean to say cool? All right.
I meant to say brilliant.
CJ, we'll take that out in post.
Yeah.
One of the good lines that they had floating around was more resurrections than the Bible, which I thought was pretty great.
I mean, I would go off on a limb to say that the Fast and Furious franchise is very biblical. Arguably better.
Wow. That's the bull quote right there.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never read the Bible.
Better? ... Question mark.
I've never read the Bible. I never watched the Mel Gibson movies, so I have no idea what happens. And this was before he got canceled, so I was part of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Fast and Furious. I mean, seems better. I have no frame of reference, but you can quote me on that, and you can play that soundbite whenever you want.
All right.
Better than the Bible?
Right.
Question mark.
Oh, there's a question mark.
There's a little upturn.
Just for the suspense.
Yeah.
Now, I also was wondering, some news came in when I finished watching this show. Beep, 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 beep. Breaking news. Oh. Vice, the people who made this show, have filed for bankruptcy.
Oh, shit.
Chapter 11. And now I know you're thinking, how is that possible when they put out content like this?
It's probably because they put all their money into this because you can tell the quality is really good.
Right.
And they had just no money left over.
Yeah. All that money going to paying the actors that were in the movie. So many of them.
Went to Tyrese.
Oh, right. There's just the one.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. Okay.
So how many
stunt people that they interviewed?
Yeah. How many seasons is this Icon Unearthed, Unleashed?
They've done 4. So they did The Simpsons, Star Wars, Fast and the Furious, and Marvel.
Okay. So 4 of like the best franchises ever. Okay, this makes sense.
Which like the 4th season, Marvel like just came out. The last episode aired at the end of April. So they finished this out the door and then bankruptcy.
Man, they must have got some really cool stunt people for Marvel too. Probably only stunt people across the board.
Only behind the scenes stunt people and coordinators, yeah.
They interviewed the blue screen.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I want to know who narrated each of these other ones.
We can find out. What I'm also very confused about is I'm looking at the IMDb page for Icons Unearthed, and you know how there's usually a drop down to select which season you want to look at the episodes. When you click the drop down, so we just established there's 4 seasons. When you click the drop down, it has 10. Were they planning 10?
They were planning
seasons?
a 10.
Oops.
Well, good for them. They set the bar high, and if you miss, whatever.
I mean, so does it technically even mean though that Vice is going to go away? Like filing for bankruptcy doesn't necessarily mean you stop business, right?
No, yeah, you're right. Although I know they did have a lot of layoffs earlier this year too. It's not looking great.
Yeah.
They should just re-release this one and they'll make all their money back and more.
I know. Well, like Fast and Furious is one of the highest grossing franchises of all time. I don't understand why they're not getting that trickle down money. You know?
You would think so. And that was the cool part about watching this because you can see just how much money all these movies made and how much they continue to make. And, that's why this is the best franchise ever. I've been saying it.
That's true. I mean, better than the Bible?
Probably
more profitable than the Bible? I don't know about that, but pretty profitable. That was one of the cool things that came out of this series was seeing how much each movie was made for and then how much it grossed. And all of them are profitable. Oh, yeah. Most of them were extremely profitable and some of Universal's highest grossing films ever.
Insane.
Which I didn't realize.
Yeah, Universal's really banking on the Fast and Furious franchise for a lot of their money.
Yeah, for sure.
I think one of my favorite parts, speaking of Universal, is every time they talked about Universal, they would just cut to a picture of the Universal sign. And they probably cut to that like 10 times per episode. And I'm like, they don't have a different shot of the Universal backlot. They're using the same one. Whoever's editing this just is like, oh, this is Universal time.
Yeah. Clearly like somebody that could have just taken the picture as they walked by. It's like outside the studios. They couldn't get inside to show the offices or anything like that.
Not even one different shot. It was all the same sign.
Like, there's like a tree covering up part of the sign. It's like, this is the best you could do.
They probably got Chad there. Chad was probably there scouting out his current role as narrator, and he was like, while you're there, take a picture of the Universal sign so we can put this in the documentary.
Use that. Absolutely.
not to go on a tangent, but Ken, you wanted to know who narrates the Marvel show?
Yeah.
It's the name we all know, Joseph Culp.
Oh, of course.
Oh, is he?
got him?
He's an actor.
Yep, he's an actor who you might know from playing Doctor Doom in 1994's The Fantastic Four.
Wait,
Oh,
what
yeah,
the hell does that series cover? That season covers every Marvel property ever? How is that possible?
No, this is I'm just on his IMDb page. I'm just trying to know who the hell this guy is. And
yeah, but why else would they pull him if they didn't like cover?
So they probably went
that.
through every single actor in the MCU, and they're just like, "What about extended
God.
Marvel? We're not getting anyone."
Yep, probably all got.
Wow.
Culp's a big get for them. They're gonna make all their money back. The bankruptcy thing is premature. I think if they got Culp,
That's a big get. That's a bigger get than Jesse.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. That's nice.
Kind of makes me want to go watch 1994's The Fantastic Four. That
I've
got
never
a
seen that
3.8 rating on IMDb.
That's the one that they had to make. Otherwise, they would lose rights to Marvel properties.
Oh,
That's the one they rushed out. I remember that because I'm that old. That's not anyway. Do you see who else narrated the other ones?
I got distracted at looking at images from that movie, and it is horrendous looking.
I'm assuming they probably got Mark Hamill to do the Star Wars one.
For some reason, I think I saw it was the guy who voices C-3PO.
I mean, at least that's someone.
That's actually a big name.
Yeah.
If that's true.
Yeah, okay. So he's the narrator for all the episodes of Marvel.
They probably paid him like $20, and he's like, "I'll do it. This is my first work since '94.
Stop there. I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it for 10.
Say no more. Yeah.
Michael Pennington.
I don't know.
Yep, another household name.
And I've never even seen those movies, so I don't even know who these people are.
Right.
Yeah, you wouldn't know, Steve. This is more for us.
No.
What'd you say that was called again? Star what?
Star Wars.
Star Battle.
Okay.
A war. Okay.
He plays in episode 6, Moff Jerdrod.
Moff Gideon.
Nope. Moff Jerdrod.
Moff Jerdrod. I'm a big Star Wars fan, and I don't know who that is. Moff Jerdrod?
These are huge stars. Ken, you should know who that is.
Sorry, I didn't finish reading the title. It's Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, deleted scenes.
Oh my, no.
Oh.
Come on. Wait,
So they got the guy from a
They got
deleted
him?
scene.
They got him? Vice is killing it.
So I just looked up this guy who Moff Jerdrod's character is, and he's just some random like deck officer on one of the ships.
At least they're
critical role.
consistent. At least Vice is consistent with who they're getting.
That's true.
Honestly, Jesse might be the biggest star.
It does sound like he's actually like a main character in one of the movies.
He was at least in that main picture of all the crew in Fast and Furious 1.
His
So,
scenes
like, that's
weren't
better.
cut from Fast and Furious 1, so that's
Exactly.
Yeah.
good.
There's
All right,
emotional stakes. We care about him.
He died. Yeah, he was the only
dies.
one that. Yeah.
Incredible.
Wow.
All right. Well, good for
I
him.
have a whole new appreciation for
Yeah.
the season.
Okay, Vice. Yeah.
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 I guess compared to the other ones, they did a good job with this.
Pretty great. Yeah. So I was going through, just taking notes of some of my favorite lessons learned from the series, and something we pointed out when we were covering Fast and Furious 3 Tokyo Drift, which again is my favorite. I don't know if I rate that highest or not, but it is my favorite.
I think you gave it a 9.
I'm holding to that. It should have been a 10. Just saying.
Wow.
You heard it here first.
That's right.
Should have been a 10.
Or should have been a 10. So we all know that Han's character actually was more or less taken from another movie.
That was an interesting thing to learn.
Yeah, from the movie Better Luck Tomorrow, where it's the exact same actor playing a character named Han. And in this documentary, they basically fully acknowledge that, yes, he is basically supposed to be the same person, which is really interesting. And that in Better Luck Tomorrow, Han smoked a lot. He chain smoked. And so they replaced that in Fast and Furious 3 with him snacking all the time because he's the same person. He's just quit smoking at this point. I love that.
Yeah,
That's great.
and that's really cool for the continuity of his character too.
Yeah.
And the fact that in one of the movies, Gal Gadot mentions that he used to be a smoker because she can tell because he eats all the time.
Oh, you're right. They do fully acknowledge it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
But without, like, I mean, like, even with this context, it makes that even better.
For
It's
sure.
the Brad Pitt School of Acting. You got to be
Exactly.
eating in scenes.
So we've covered every Fast and Furious film released so far. Although at time of recording, within the next week or two, they're releasing Fast X
Actually, yes, for tomorrow.
tomorrow. Okay, FX, it's coming out. But the one film we have not covered yet in the Fast and Furious world is Better Luck Tomorrow.
That's true.
You're right.
It's
they
part of
technically
the-
take place in the same universe.
And
That's
actually,
correct.
I've never seen it
That's right.
because
Yeah.
I just learned about this. Yeah, and I need to learn about Han.
I think we need to watch it. I'm just saying, at some point.
I'd be down for that.
I mean, I would hope there's if if Vin's not in it, it's gonna be hard for me to stomach a lot of the action and stuff. I think
I don't even
Berlin-
know if it is an action movie. I'm honestly not sure.
are there. I mean, there's at least cars. I've seen a scene of him driving a car
Okay.
when they cut back to it. So I'll be on board at least a little bit.
Okay.
It's a crime drama.
Oh, like a heist.
We'll find out.
All right. One thing I thought that was cool, speaking of Vin and Tokyo Drift, was his cameo at the end of Tokyo Drift just made it like gross so much more money because
Yeah.
people were just like, oh shit, Vin Diesel's in this. And
They
like I
said,
think
like,
without
people
that,
went
they were
nuts.
just like, this could have been like a straight to DVD movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also rewatching this. I totally forget that he's not in the second one. I totally forgot about that. He's not in the second
Yeah.
movie. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, that's just Paul Walker and Tyrese just saying bruh and cuz the whole movie.
That's right.
And that's why it's great.
Exactly.
And then we did sort of the gossip we've been frequently discussing was more or less confirmed in this, of that when The Rock signed on to do the eighth one, he said he would not film any in-person scenes with Vin Diesel. That was like part of his, I will do this, but
Contract.
Yeah, I mean that was cool to see. Obviously, heartbreaking. I
yeah.
cried again when I heard that. But I mean, it's cool, like talking about how The Rock joins the franchise as this, like he was in some movies, but like now John Cena is almost doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I feel like inevitably, once John Cena gets even bigger than he already is, Vin Diesel will look him eye to eye, and then they'll fight, and John Cena will leave the franchise.
I think they're at least similar heights. That's more plausible. John Cena and Vin Diesel.
John Cena is a little shorter.
Just a little bit. I mean, Vin Diesel's still shorter than all of them.
True.
I love that when they were talking about that, they showed the clip that we discussed frequently of them in the backyard seeing eye to eye, where it's so clearly like the camera angle that makes that work.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he steps up and he's just
Yeah.
adjacent to him. And you're like, oh, so cool.
Yeah, their heads are gigantic because they had to film it close so that it looked real. Oh
best.
boy.
I love seeing that. It's
Yeah.
it's nice to go behind the scenes of that and know how super cool it was.
Yeah, know that it was exactly what we said it was.
Yeah.
Speaking of The Rock, the one thing they didn't cover in this series, they even covered Fast X a little bit. Like they talked about Justin Lin leaving after 6 days of production. But the thing they didn't talk about at all was Hobbs and Shaw. Like they didn't even
Yeah.
like address that it was made, which was
Yeah.
strange.
I'm wondering if Vin Diesel had some input on this.
Could be.
He got final cut rights.
Yeah. I'm assuming he does. Yeah, I mean, I feel like obviously that should have been mentioned, but they did a good job of like talking about how unrealistic everything gets movie to movie and how like because now it's just becoming like memed all the time. And even today I think Ken sent that post of the most unrealistic parts of Fast and Furious, like Vin Diesel getting hit by a car, diving in midair and catching Letty and all these things. But it's especially funny seeing how them doing a lot of that in CG, but so much of it was practical too, which is blew my mind. I had no
Yeah.
idea that all of that, like so much of that was practical effects.
Yeah. All of the car stunts are
Yeah.
practical.
They were like dropping
insane.
cars out of planes. They were driving the vault around.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Driving
vault.
cars on a frozen lake. Like,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
real.
man, taking it to outer space. It's crazy.
That was practical. That was real.
That was real. Okay, that wasn't real, but a lot of it was actually like they seem to try to do as many things practically as possible, which is applaudable for a huge movie like this. Like I would think that they would try to save money or at some way to just do it CG, but
I mean, even watching the first couple episodes, it made me like really appreciate those scenes even more. Like the scene where Vin Diesel like flips over that truck and Paul Walker drives under it at the very end. Of the first movie. I'm like, dang, they actually did that.
That was cool.
I guess like the CGI then wouldn't have been nearly good to make that look cool.
True.
But, like I like finally put together in my head. I'm like, geez, they did that.
Yeah, driving the car underneath a semi truck, that was real.
Yeah.
Like sliding across it. Yeah, and Ken, you mentioned the vault of Fast 5 that it was basically a mini car inside the vault so that they could drive the vault around.
Make it look like it's being dragged around.
Yeah, very impressive.
Cool.
And they filled it with dry ice because the guy was overheating, and then he couldn't breathe because the dry ice was taking away all the air.
Yeah.
So then he had to have a hose with oxygen connected to the outside.
I so thought that they were because whoever the talking head is describing placing in the dry ice, they were like, and then we found out, and I was like, oh no, did he like touch the dry ice and burn his skin?
Yeah,
I totally thought that's where it was going.
Did he pass out and start getting whipped around in that vault?
Just his lifeless body being tossed.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And other car stunts where they attached, where Vin Diesel in Cuba is driving backwards, they put a guy on top of the car to steer the car.
Oh yeah.
It was like a Pope-mobile type situation. Where he was on top of a little box, but driving the other way.
I liked when they highlighted the things that went wrong, but they like left it in the movie. Like I don't remember what it was supposed to be, but the
truck crashing into a train car
and getting like stuck in it
and like almost derailing the train was real and was an accident, but they left it in. It's pretty cool.
Half of these episodes were about like we're trying to film this crazy stunt and there's going to be cars flying over the streets and it would cause so much damage. So all these places that we normally film out wouldn't let us. But then we found this random place that said, we don't give a shit about our streets. Do whatever you want. And that happened like different places, like every single episode. And they're like we found one place. Yeah. And then we went to Ohio where they're like, do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah. I sort of get that, but also in my mind, it's sort of like this movie, sure, it's going to cause damage that it will then pay for a new thing to replace that thing it destroyed, whether that's like light posts in the street or a bus stop or whatever. It's like now you're getting a brand new one.
Yeah. I mean, one of the parts where they were talking about, I think it was Furious 6, and they were talking about doing the tank scene in like London. And I was like, whose idea is that? You think London's actually going to be like, yeah, drive the tank. We'll let you do this.
Sure,
and they're like, well, then we found this random highway in a different country, and they were like, yeah, do whatever you want.
Yeah. Drive through the cobblestone streets of London with a tank.
Tear it all up.
They probably got snow tires on that as well, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, they have to. That would have been really bad for London streets.
Absolutely.
But great for traction.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do we all have anything else? Otherwise, I got some trivia we can do.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do the trivia.
Okay. It's time for...
Hey, did you do that?
That's right. For new listeners, this is the part of the show where we pit our guests and CJ head-to-head to see who knows the most about what we watch. Steve, CJ, are you two ready?
Ready.
Yep. Ready.
Okay. I don't have a ton of questions because this is a random documentary series. So here we go. In March 2023, Icons Unearthed was renewed for how many more seasons?
Is that 6? Real? Did it get renewed for like 10 total seasons? I'm going with that, I guess.
That's what I was. You already said that earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. It was renewed for 6 more seasons. Yeah.
Jesus. Did it say at all like what they were going to cover?
Season 5 will focus on which British franchise? First person to answer gets the point.
James Bond.
James Bond.
That's true. Yeah. CJ got it.
Yes. They referenced James Bond so many times during the Fast and Furious one, too.
Yeah, they did.
Wasn't that like Justin Lin wanted to do like a James Bond style opening? Was that him?
Mm-hmm.
He
the whole train thing was based off of a James Bond movie, I think.
Yeah.
And final question. What?
Wow.
What is the IMDb
was
rating
gonna
for this
say,
whole
what's the
series?
rating?
CJ, please minimize the browser windows that you already have open.
I don't have it up anymore.
Okay.
I truly have no idea. 6?
Okay.
I'd guess lower. 5.
CJ is our winner because the whole series has a 7.8 rating on IMDb, which, what?
Wow.
That is shocking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was
I actually thought
fine.
I actually thought it was pretty good. Well, I guess we'll get to our ratings in a second, which I guess we're gonna rate this. But I thought it was pretty good, actually. Like, I know we didn't all really like the narrator, but I thought the editing was actually pretty tight, and they got some pretty good clips from the movies that fit perfectly with what they were saying.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Kept it pretty entertaining. But CJ's our winner! Yay!
Hey. That was the longest trivia that I've ever heard on this show.
Yeah, usually I keep it to just one question, but
We had to do more.
Just straight to
had to
the
do
Rotten
more-
Tomatoes.
and I had to keep the first question in because there's only 3 questions and we already knew the answer. But
Did they have pre-written trivia questions on their IMDb page, though? I'm assuming they would have had at least 20.
no,
Oh, that's weird.
yeah. And they didn't even have or they did have individual pages for each season.
One of the questions should have been who narrated this, because I still forgot.
Chad
What's his last
Chad.
name?
Lindbergh.
Oh,
God, it's unfortunate.
What, his voice or his name?
They have the both.
everything. His whole life.
He does say that it's a joke with his family that all the characters he plays get killed off.
Yeah.
He's like, I just have one of those faces that you care if I die.
And even with the first one, he's just like, his parents wanted to watch it together. He's like, don't worry, we don't have to watch it together. This is just going to be another crap movie.
Well, is it time for our ratings?
Yes. You've heard us debating. We know you've been waiting. So now it's time to hear our ratings.
Steve, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate this season of Icons Unearthed for you?
So this is an interesting one because, it gives an inside scoop, one that I already knew, into the Fast and Furious universe. So I know earlier, I said the audience would probably give it a 5 because I'm assuming the audience is an even mix of gearheads and non-gearheads.
Right.
That's fair.
But from a gearhead perspective, I just wanted to be a little bit more nuanced with it. And I knew a lot of this information. I'd give it a 10.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, they're about movies that all got 10s. So
Right.
it's just like, what else could it be?
How could you not, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it actually shows you more about them, and you're learning more about these 10 movies that are 10s. And I'm going to watch Fast 10 tomorrow. How many more 10s do you want?
Right. 10 tens, it just all adds up to 10.
Yeah, that's just
Right.
fate.
Are you actually going to watch it tomorrow?
I actually am.
You're going the night it comes out?
No, during the day.
Oh, smart. Actually, wait, hold on. When are you going?
Like,
I have tomorrow
the
off of
very
work.
first
Oh.
opening.
No, so I'm going to Omaha to visit my friend, but my same friend that I watched Fast 9 with.
Okay.
So I'm flying out tomorrow, and he's like, "Do you want to see Fast 10
Of course.
at 1?" And I'm like, "Yes."
That's amazing. Wow.
Nice.
So I can come? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
flying out first thing in the morning.
Great.
Actually, wait, I'm not flying anywhere. I only stay in. Wait, do people know where I live?
I think so.
Oh, we'll just remove this stuff in post.
I don't
only-
think any
I
of
li-
this is standard. Yeah.
I live at the shop.
That's right.
That's right.
Your one and only home. Mm-hmm. A 10. Wow. Okay.
Okay. CJ.
For me, I will admit I did learn a bunch. I don't know that this is like a great documentary series. You only got one of the stars of the franchise to speak to it. Seems like a bit of a letdown.
Well, too.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Sorry, Chad. I don't know. It was fine though. I watched all of it. A 6. This was a perfectly average documentary series, I think.
Okay.
Ken.
Well, for me, I enjoyed it more, and actually, I didn't have as much of an issue with the narrator as y'all did, other than just it being funny that it was that guy, and that he would cut to himself, which was very strange.
Yeah.
But overall, I found it very entertaining, and I liked it a lot. I think probably more than both of you. Well, I guess it can't be more,
more
than
than
More than me. Yeah.
Yeah.
You liked it the same as me?
Okay, no, I guess I don't. I take back what I said. I give it an 8, though. I actually thought it was really good. And
That's
I'm definitely
good.
going to watch a couple of the other seasons as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, I might actually dive into like the Simpsons one or the Marvel one, especially if they got Joseph Culp. I mean, how could you pass that
Yeah.
up?
If they got Culp, I'm like, fuck.
I can't believe it.
Here's the real question is, was this documentary series so good that you want to rewatch the Fast and Furious movies to catch on all those little things?
1 through 3. Yep. those are the ones I want to watch.
All right. And CJ, the other half.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, and I will pick it up from there.
Maybe 4. 4 was pretty good, too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Or
4 is
five
like
on.
your crossover point where CJ starts liking it and Ken starts hating it.
that's right. Yeah, weird.
It's funny, they even like pointed out in the documentary series that like the turning point was 5 for just the direction of the series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
We
the test
nailed it.
audience is being like, are there racing scenes?
Yeah, yeah. Are they gonna race at all? with these?
No, okay.
It does feel like that's why why they started just starting each movie with like some sort of race, like the one in Cuba and stuff, where they're like, all right, we'll get this out of the way.
Yeah.
That was good. I did appreciate that they had the Cuba one.
I am legitimately very excited to watch the new one coming out. I want to watch that soon.
I'm excited too. I actually have no idea what to expect. Like with the previous one, I knew that they were going to go to space. And
Yeah, I
so
think
I
we
knew
all
it was gonna
really?
be kind
Yeah.
of bullshit. But this one, I don't know anything about other than that the director quit after 6 days. So
God, that video of Vin Diesel like
think-
posting to Instagram of him and Justin Lin, and Justin Lin just looks so unhappy and defeated.
The best part about that is they used like the same picture of Vin with his arm around Justin Lin like multiple times during this documentary too.
they did. Yeah.
Like, yeah, you gotta stop using that one. I don't think they're friends anymore.
yeah,
No.
literally walked off the setup.
Yeah. Man, Vince sounds like a great person to work with.
Yeah, one of my
totally.
favorite actors.
Yeah.
And strap in because this is the beginning of a new trilogy that was just announced.
Insane.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And that's what they said about the last one.
Yeah.
But then they said about this one that this is now the start of a new trilogy. So like I'm
That's
assuming
right.
that this is the last trilogy. And that's what I said last time, but this one seems like the last trilogy.
Well, one can hope that that's not true, and
Yeah.
that the next one is the.
But
the
this
start of
one
a new
feels
trilogy.
final. Doesn't it feel like the end to you guys?
This is the last
Yeah.
of the first of the last
And
trilogy.
they told us that, yeah. And ever since 5, they're saying one last job, but this one actually feels like the last trilogy job.
So they go to the moon. Like, what do we think? Mars? They're the first ones to land on
They'll
Mars.
probably colonize Mars. They'll probably go back in time, and then they'll probably cross over with the Marvel Cinematic Universe because they'll enter the multiverse. As we all know, the multiverse is open for business.
True. Yeah, multiverse is very popular right now. They could have different kinds of cars in another universe. Who knows?
Maybe in one universe, the cars are the people, and the people are the cars.
Whoa. They cross over to the cars.
Yeah, Cars, the franchise.
Yes, and then they're driving around in Vin Diesel.
That would be cool. All right. Okay.
Okay, we're on to something.
Yeah.
What I actually hope for in this new movie and I guess the subsequent movies is that they become fully aware that they're in a movie. Because they kind
Yeah.
of teased that in the previous movie.
They're getting
that they're
there.
like, hey, I physically cannot die. Like, what the hell's up with that?
Yeah. They're
And I hope
really-
they like double down on that in these movies.
They're on
They
the
break
cusp.
the fourth wall fully.
He's right there.
Right.
Yeah,
Hey, like physics doesn't seem to really work. Like,
Yeah.
what's going on?
I'm waiting,
Tyrese
yeah,
fully just looks down the barrel of the camera. Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
wait,
Deadpool
has that
style.
always been here?
Once he just grabs it and looks
Yeah.
at it.
Who are you?
Yeah.
I would
I hope.
freak out. I'm assuming that the whole theater would, get up and clap like they always do. But
I popped several Coronas if that happened. So
oh wait, did we talk about the trailer for this one where Brie Larson brings like a non-Corona beer?
I have not watched the
no, I
trailer,
didn't.
Steve. Spoilers.
Steve pointed that out to us though.
Yeah, I feel like there was a still or something.
I wiped
Yeah,
it from my
still.
memory.
Anyway, she's probably the villain because only a villain would bring a non-Corona beer. Or Mr. Nobody because he likes Belgian beers.
I was at a Super Bowl party when the trailer aired during the Super Bowl, and I literally looked away from the TV and watched everybody else in the room react to seeing the trailer. It was even better, I think, that way.
How was the reception of the trailer?
A lot of confused faces.
How
and
many tears?
like kind of excited, but then it can oh, wait, what? And then oh, they got them too?
But everyone wasn't standing and cheering and clapping.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
I don't know what to tell you. I hang out with some weird people.
Oh man.
Yeah, I watched the Super Bowl with a bunch of people, and everyone was crying. Either mostly happy tears. But it's that kind of trailer.
Happy tears, and then the trailer ended, and then it was sad tears.
And then
because it
sad
ended.
tears, yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's a really good reflection of the whole Fast and Furious universe, where people watch it and they're like, huh? Wait, they got them?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Space.
Because they're always getting someone new.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what celebrity joins the franchise in maybe the last one. We'll see.
We'll see. Only 3 movies left.
That's right. So stay tuned for us covering FX and eventually Better Luck Tomorrow to round
And
out.
Citizen Kane, because that's the only other movie Steve has seen.
Yeah.
That's right. Man, we were going to run out of content, but we have like 3 things lined up now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
great.
exactly. And only 3 more Fast and Furious movies. But we should do Citizen Kane because I've seen it.
Yep. Same.
Okay.
I have definitely seen it.
Yeah, and
I
I
haven't.
have a lot to talk about because I've seen it.
Right.
All right.
All right.
Let's do that.
Okay. Well, Steve, thank you for joining us. Do you have anything you want to plug for the shop or any words of wisdom at the end here?
Yeah, just pop off those snow tires, come by, 420% or 42.0% off your neon lights. If you come in,
I just
go
got the joke
see
now.
Fast X. That's out at the time of recording. It comes out tomorrow or even tonight at midnight. So you just go see it. They really need the help at the box office. And yeah, that's all I got.
I just
Cool.
put that together.
The 42.0. That's pretty good. All right.
Oh yeah, it's a 420 reference. Did you get that good?
CJ, what do we got?
You can follow us on all the things that Overtalking Pod. Email us like actor Wayne Knight did at overtalkingpod@gmail.com. Call or text us at USACat1591.
No, they're here. They're screeching into the studio.
You drove a car into the studio?
That's cool. They don't do that normally.
No, I don't. They're drifting over.
That is
and,
cool.
They're drifting right up to my podcasting station here, just like Paul Walker did in that one movie that he did that one stunt in, and looking me dead in the eye. And I think they're saying that, they're reminding me to remind you, if you like the show, please go on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and rate and review and do all of that. Reviews would help you find this podcast. Also, we spend no money in advertising, so if you like the show, please tell a friend and spread the word. We would really appreciate it. Thank you. And
They crashed into a
drifting
parking
away.
meter? Is that what you mean?
No, there was one scene where he drifted right up to the camera. He did, or he didn't drift, but he did a e-brake
Yeah,
stop.
that was the one he did right. And then the next one he
Right.
crashed into the parking meter and they kept it in.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So cool.
So good.
And as we always say at the end of every single episode,
Cars.
bye.
Bye.
This episode of the Overtalking Podcast was edited and produced by Ken and CJ. Special guest this week was Steve. Music by Justin Peters. Logo by Nate Richards. Check out Nate's work on Instagram at Nate Richards Designs.
I got Ken freezing on my end.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Ken, you're freezing a bit.
Am I back? Oh no, my internet connection is unstable. Hold on. Why?
This happened
those-
last time.
All those IMDb tabs you got open.
I guess.
Quit looking at Moth and Gibbs Gargion.
Gerard.
Gerard.
That was actually pretty close.
All right, you're back.
Stop watching the deleted scenes of episode 6.